WWE 2K25 has officially been announced. The official announced trailer is out. The PlayStation Store listing has a lot more detail that we're going to go into. But first, let's have a look at the trailer and see what details we can find. This is literally the first frame of the trailer here. It's the SmackDown arena with Roman Reigns entering. However, if you look closely, you will see that the ringside area is surrounded by people and the ring has no ropes. So to me, I think this confirms that NXT Underground, or Raw Underground, the underground match, let's say, is official. Having a look at some of the characters there at ringside, I don't recognize any of them. So they're not wrestlers. I think they're just like crowd members or NPCs, but yeah, I guess they're just there to sell the underground aspect of the match. Skipping forward, it definitely looks like we have a new entrance animation for Roman. Here we have the camera zooming on a Roman as the pyro goes up behind him, and then he lifts his arm with the Bloodline 1 raise your ones to the sky there. A new model for Roman as well. The face scan looks really weird from this angle, but the actual like model definition looks really good. So throughout the trailer as well, there's lots of text that flashes up on the screen, that the acknowledge the legacy is really cool. So the game obviously has a huge emphasis on the Bloodline, and the 2K showcase has been confirmed to be Bloodline focused, so, or at least the family of the Bloodline. So we are, by playing the game and playing the showcase, we're acknowledging the legacy of the Bloodline here. We get a good look of the new arena. So the arena itself looks the same as previous years, but looking at it, it does look a bit different. I'll need to check actually if the arena is different this time. It might be, but regardless, this is the SmackDown arena as we know it today. It has the old branding though, so it has like the old ring skirts and it looks like the old SmackDown logo, but this is Roman's entrance in that arena. Here's a look at a potential new title entrance animation for Roman with a manager, Paul Heyman in this case. So it looks like he's got a new entrance animation. Perhaps, I guess this makes a lot of sense with the Bloodline focus this year. So when you're playing Roman's matches when he's a champion in the showcase mode, it makes sense that he has a special dedicated entrance with Paul Heyman. This is the dual championship entrance with Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman when Roman has 2 belts. I think this is the same as the 2K24 entrance, so nothing crazy. I saw some people online saying it might be different, but it looks familiar to me. So we have some real footage there that cuts into Roman Reigns spearing John Cena, and it cuts into gameplay there, and you can see this is just a nice visual of John Cena getting speared. The one thing I want to note though is that the arena that this is being played in, the ringside area, is the new SmackDown. Like that logo behind on the barricade there, that's the LED barricade that has the new SmackDown logo on it. So I think we'll see later on in this trailer that we are actually getting the new SmackDown on USA arena. So it cuts back into real life footage that kind of intermixes some gameplay stuff, and here we have, it could be an entrance animation or a winning animation for Roman with 2 titles. Again, makes sense with the showcase modes. This will be happening a lot, I presume, in the showcase mode, so it makes sense that you have a dedicated animation here for Roman holding up the 2 belts. This may very well be in the previous game, I can't remember, but either way, it's very cool that it's here. So it's kind of hard to see here, but you have some real life footage from WrestleMania that cuts into gameplay footage, and here we can see that this is the WrestleMania arena, which last year was a DLC exclusive for the 40 years of WrestleMania mode, or the edition. And now it'll be in the base game. They've made some changes to the arena, I think, but this is Cody hitting the crossroads on Roman, and we get our first look at Solo Sikoa there on the right, which I think is pretty cool. And also the confirmation of real life referees coming back into the game as well. Very cool. We get a cutscene that, in fact, you know, I've just realized this plays out like a cutscene, right? This is it's kind of hard to see because of the way that the trailer's been cut, but basically Solo's in the ring there, Solo's standing, Cody hits the crossroads on Roman, and then cuts to real footage, but then Cody's looking up to Solo as Cody goes for the pin. So is this the confirmation that the slingshot tech is gone? Like, Are we not getting real life footage in the showcase anymore? I hope not. I hope that this is 2K telling us that showcase mode this year has in-game cutscenes and no longer features that real life footage. Another thing to note as well is that they do have the Prime logo on the WrestleMania ring mat, and you can see in the top right there the Prime logo is also on the turnbuckle pads. So some people may not like it. I understand a lot of people don't like the advertising in WWE these days. However, it's cool to have an authentic arena, and I'm glad that they're able to work with Prime to get the logos on the ring mat. There's some more real life footage here. This trailer kind of tells a story, how it starts with the bloodline and then it goes through the motions here. We see Roman getting betrayed by Solo at WrestleMania, Roman losing the title. It then cuts to Solo here taking down Roman in the new SmackDown arena, and it has some real life footage with the new bloodline, which is, you know, Tama Tonga, Jacob Fatu. I think a cool thing to note here as well is that Solo Sikoa has some body damage here. I think this might have been in the last game, but maybe not this much. It's very obvious here, but on Solo's chest and his like midsection are like bruises. And you can kind of see on Roman's midsection, it's a little bit bruised as well. There's another shot coming up actually where you'll see more bruising on Solo's back. So I guess as the match goes on, your character model gets more and more bruised and more red. And that's a nice little touch. It's a nice little touch and I really like it. As the real life footage continues to play out, I noticed that they showed this clip from Crown Jewel. Now, this specific match is somewhat important for the Bloodline story, especially for Solo Sikoa becoming the tribal chief and all that, because he beats Roman Reigns. However, Crown Jewel and the Saudi Arabian shows don't actually appear usually in WWE games. They've never appeared in any WWE game, and I assume it's probably due to some politics. Maybe 2K doesn't want to involve themselves with the Saudi Arabian thing that they've got going on here. But the fact that they're using the footage from Crown Jewel indicates to me that potentially we'll be seeing this match in showcase mode. Now, that's a bit of a stretch because, as I said, they've never included any Saudi Arabian arenas in any of the 2K games, but this could very well be the first. Here we see the return of Roman Reigns, again, telling that story through the trailer. I think it's really, really cool. Paul Heyman says, like a phoenix rising from the ashes, and then it shows Roman doing his ooh-ah. Very nice. You can also see some bruising, I think, on his chest, maybe? In fact, definitely some bruising on his chest, very red. And you see some of that sweat back. But it's a good model, right? And I love as well, you can really see the muscle definition as he moves his arm. Like when he's lifting his arm like this, you can see his chest muscle moving. It just looks really real to me. Like the hair still a little floaty, but that's fine. But I really like what they're doing here with some of the visuals. It's kind of hard to see here because the heads-up display on YouTube is hiding it, but this is in the new SmackDown arena or some sort of, maybe it's a middle ground, or I don't know. Either way, it's definitely got the new SmackDown logo on there. But here's Roman hitting a Superman punch to Solo in the corner of the ring, and you can see on Solo's back there, just by the middle of the screen, he's got some red bruising going on there, red marks, which again just proves the point that we're going to be getting some like body limb damage in this game. So there's this shot here, it looks a little bit inconspicuous, but Roman hits Solo with some sort of like hip toss or overhead throw or whatever. But the reason I'm highlighting this specific shot is I think it shows that in these SmackDown arenas we're going to be getting the Prime station. So just between Roman's legs there, you can see that they've got the Prime bottle with the station. I could have sworn this was in last year's game, but I think it was just a modder. I think Matt Flick or something had put the Prime station in his arenas. Another thing that this shot confirms is that we are getting Corey Graves, Michael Cole, and Byron Saxton on commentary once again, which absolutely baffles me for a groundbreaking game to still have 3 commentators, and one of them has not been a commentator for about 2 years now. It honestly baffles me that Byron Saxton's still in the commentary. Not that I don't like him, but he's not a commentator. I think that they need to finally just find a way to get Michael Cole, Pat McAfee, Wade Barrett, and the new guy that I've completely forgotten the name of, Joe Tessitore. They need to find a way to get them in the video game and just get this commentary better, man. Like, the commentary actually is fine. The commentary system is great, and I really love how reactive and authentic it sounds. But Having all three commentators, especially Byron, who's not a commentator anymore, it just seems really outdated, and especially in a game that's trying to take that leap and put in loads of new features. I just think it's a shame that we're still stuck with the same old commentary. This is a fantastic shot of Roman here. I love the depth of field on Roman. I'm assuming this is in-game camera work, but there's not really much here other than the fact that we've got Snickers as a sponsor and Minute Maid. I don't know if that really means anything to anyone, but it's a real-life sponsor that's in the game. So the trailer then progresses on to show Roman hitting a Superman punch on a new roster member, Jacob Fatu, who's definitely wearing his like debut wrestling gear here. He's progressed a little bit beyond then, only recently, since Solo Sikoa was taken out on Survivor Series War Games. Jacob seems to be taking a lead in his little tag team faction here, but this model is very much previous, but that's fine, right? Because with community creations, you can always upgrade that anyway. You can always change how he looks. But still, it's great to see that Jacob Fatu made the game. I think he's going to be a really popular character in the game when it launches. I know for sure I want to play as him. So, also interestingly, I just noticed that there's clearly a Slim Jim logo on that banner there, but it's been blurred out. So I wonder if Slim Jim's not a sponsor this year and they've accidentally left it in the trailer. I don't know, but it seems odd that that's blurred out. We got another shot here. It says take on all challengers. I think this text here actually ties into the showcase mode that we'll go into a little bit more detail. The showcase mode this year is a little bit different than the previous years have been, so I think this text alludes to that. Also, Solo Sikoa with potentially a new entrance animation, looking very cool. I love the facial animation that they're using for these entrances and stuff. There was a shot earlier actually when Roman was getting Crossroads, and I thought the visual of like the facial animation was so cool, and I think it's those little touches I think add quite a lot to the game actually. Then the game transitions from Solo Sikoa straight to Umaga, which I think is a great parallel, by the way, because I think Solo Sikoa actually shows a lot of Umaga in the way that he works and looks. But this apparently is a younger model for Umaga than has been in the previous games. This is more of a debut look for Umaga. So perhaps in the showcase mode, we're going to be looking at his match with John Cena at New Year's Revolution, or perhaps something else. I don't recognize the arena. Like the background looks like a curtain, but with like the two structures on the side. I don't recognize it. And as a stage person, that really bugs me because I love the arenas, but I just cannot place this one. And what's really cool about this shot in particular as well is that we can actually see a manager behind Umaga, and there's been lots of rumors for a couple weeks now that Armando Estrada has signed a Legends contract to appear in the 2K games. So rumor has it that this could actually be Armando Estrada, and I really hope it is because I think that's so cool and authentic. We get quite a few rapid shots here. Moving on to the next shot, we get a look at the new Bloodline, Solo Sikoa leading the charge, potentially a new 4-man entrance animation for the 4 of them. But yeah, Jacob Fatu in the back there, you get a much better look at his face than the previous shot. You get a good look at Tonga Loa on the right there, and then Tama Tonga on the left. I think all 4 models look incredible, by the way, and it's all like in the little details, like the facial animations. It looks like the faces have more polygons, the scans look a bit better, the arenas look a bit cleaner, the image quality is a little bit crisper. I think this is looking like a pretty good 2K game so far. So here we get an interesting shot of the original grey Hell in a Cell by the looks of it, with an old school 2017 style Usos. The stage in the background though is not the current one. This definitely looks like, and I can see it from the corner post like shield thing there. This looks to me like it's maybe going to be the Hell in a Cell tag team match that they had with the New Day. So I wonder if this is one of the matches that's going to be in the 2K showcase mode, where it's that Hell in a Cell tag team match that the Usos had with the New Day. Here is a shot of Batista taking on the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns in the old Raw arena. This is the same one from last year. That's totally fine. Batista's model also the same from last year, which is a little bit disappointing because I think Batista's model is not very good. His facial structure just doesn't look right. So I know Batista looks weird these days, but that it just doesn't look like Batista to me. So I doubt they'll have the time to fix it this year, but in future I would love a new Batista model, especially since I think he's a really popular character and I've always used him through the games. So there's this shot here where Batista throws the arm for the clothesline, Roman hits the ropes, and then it transitions into a Raw arena with the red Hell in a Cell going into a spear on Jey Uso. And you can see the red cage there. I think this is harkening back to their they had the COVID lockdown Hell in a Cell match, which has really started the whole Tribal Chief Jey Uso storyline. And yeah, I mean, this is a pretty good Jey Uso model. Again, talking about those facial animations, I love Jey's face here as he goes for that spear. He gets hit by the spear, and you can see the pain on his face, like the shock and then the pain. And I just think, God, it just adds that like real life element to the game, and I think it's such a great improvement. I think here as well, there is another shot of a potentially new entrance animation with Roman with 2 belts. He just lifts both belts there above his head. Not much to say about that one. So I found this shot really, really interesting. I'm going to have to go back to 2K24 to confirm, but it looks like, to me, this is a new Seth Rollins animation, a new entrance animation coming through the crowd. I could be wrong, right? Because last year did have a Shield Seth Rollins Persona card, which I don't remember unlocking. So it could be a case of it was already in the game before. But I don't know if they actually have developed a new arena for the game and this is coming through the crowd, then perhaps they've had to make a new animation for the new arena. I don't know, but I'm gonna have to do some more research on this. Either way, very cool inclusion. I'm assuming it could be part of showcase mode. There was that SummerSlam match. Was it SummerSlam? I can't remember. There was a match between Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns when Seth Rollins was playing mind games and did come out with the Shield get up and he came through the crowd. So maybe that's represented in the showcase mode. Moving on from that shot as well, we get this shot, which is the WrestleMania arena again, but this time we've got Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns. The obvious thing here is that Seth is balancing on the crowd barricade, and then he does a jump off of the barricade onto Roman at ringside. Now, it does look like it's the same animation for being on top of the announce table, so perhaps it's just the same mechanic that's been applied to the barricade. Maybe a shame if we can't do finishers off the barricade, because I would love to do something like a coup de grace or like a shooting star press off the barricade or something, but perhaps it has more customizability than I realize. But either way, it's a nice inclusion and I'm hoping it's something that they can adapt over time. We get confirmation that The Undertaker's in the game. I don't think anybody needs confirmation. He's one of the special edition covers, which we're going to talk about shortly. So yeah. We get a new look at Cody. He looks like he's wearing his WrestleMania outfit. He's got a new character model this year, a new face scan. I really like how that looks. His entrance lights on the ramp there also look realistic, which is very, very cool. Cody is looking a bit Ken-like here. He's looking a little bit plasticky. I don't know if that's just his model or what, but he's looking very plastic. I do think this is a new entrance animation though. I need to go back and watch the 2K24 entrance again, but the way that he swings his arm here, I don't remember that being in 2K24, and I do think he needs a new entrance anyway because of the way that his entrance has adapted over the years with the crowd chanting and the pyro being timed with his entrance now and the music. I think it's time that Cody especially gets a new entrance animation. We got another shot of Seth Rollins there with his entrance and his Shield gear. This looks like it's in that WrestleMania arena because it's got the screen in the background, so it's like the big style arena, but I don't think we get any clues as to what arena stage it actually is, just that it's in the large venue. Now, we've already seen the screenshot for CM Punk from the front during his entrance, but this is a cool ringside or in-ring shot rather, and we get confirmation that he's wearing his Bret Hart outfit from SummerSlam last year when he came back to face Drew McIntyre, which is great because I absolutely love the Bret Hart themed outfit for Punk, so I'm glad that this actually made it into the game. So here we get another quick look at the SmackDown arena as Roman goes for a spear on Tama Tonga, which is very, very cool. I mean, it's a we don't get a good look of Tama here, but we saw him during the entrance, right? So whatever. But I guess we also can see Mike Rome in the corner. We can see Mike Rome in the corner. I guess he's the ring announcer for SmackDown. We get this really cool shot here where Roman's holding the ones up and the crowd are doing it with him. This was in the last game, but the one thing I wanted to highlight from this shot in particular is that the ring posts are the new SmackDown style, the new SmackDown logo. So again, just reiterating, reconfirming that we are getting the current SmackDown arena in this year's game. And probably the biggest announcement for this year's game, which is something that's like the worst kept secret of all time, the 2K, or the island as it's called. So the island, it says at the bottom there, it's only available on PS5 and Xbox Series S and X. No confirmation whether it's on PC yet, so I'm hoping it makes it to PC. It'd be weird if it didn't. But yes, this definitely looks like some sort of NBA 2K the city, whatever they call it, some sort of city mode where I guess you go around with your my creative superstar, and then you gain items and you do things. There's actually a description for this that we're going to go into shortly, but yes, one of the notable things about this shot in particular, obviously the island is dominated by this giant gold Roman Reigns statue, but on the left there you also have a round building that says Hall of Fame, or I think it says Hall of Fame. It says Hall of something, I can only assume it's the Hall of Fame. And on the right there you've got a red building, but there's no like marking or no text or any indication what's on there. So I'm really curious to see how the island plays out. I've never played NBA The City, so I'm really curious to see how this fits into a wrestling style game and what kind of unlockables and stuff we can get from there. The only thing I'm not keen on is if it's like super microtransaction heavy, in which case I'm getting the bin, not interested. So before we were looking at 2K25 and it had bigger, bolder, better, or some sort of tagline to that effect, but it looks like it's now being changed to rule beyond the ring, which makes sense, especially if this game is going to have an emphasis on the island, so you're ruling beyond. Some interesting tidbits here are that the standard edition is available for pre-order now, so is the Deadman Edition, which is this year's deluxe edition, and then you get the Bloodline Edition, which is this year's 40 years of WrestleMania essentially. The Bloodline Edition is the top tier edition, Deadman Edition is the middle one, and 2K25 is the standard one. We'll go into more detail about these games shortly because they have the listings up for them. It's important to note that the Deadman Edition and the Bloodline Edition come with 7 days early access, or it says up to 7 days early access. So even though the game releases on March 14th, you will be able to play it from March 7th, depending on which version of the game you've got. So I've seen a lot of controversy online about this, so if you pre-order 2K25 at any point up to release, you'll be able to gain the Wyatt 6 DLC pack. These guys are available with any edition of the game, and it's available through March 13th. And if you pre-order the game, you'll also get, alongside the Wyatt 6 DLC pack, you'll also get access to 2K24 Digital Edition on whatever platform you pre-order the game on, which is super cool. I really like that they're giving away last year's game as a pre-order bonus. And that's what we've got for the trailer. There are tons of details in the trailer, but there's also a lot of information out there already about some press releases and stuff. But what we're going to be looking at is the store listings, because the store listings have a lot of interesting information about the features that are coming into 2K25. So this is the PlayStation Store listing for the game. I think it's the same details on all store pages, but I just want to highlight the PlayStation Store version. So for this, it's interesting to see because pre-orders are available now and you pay the full price now and you play the game later, that means that the prices of the games are out there. So the standard edition is £65 in obviously British pounds. The Deadman Edition is £90, £89.99, and the Bloodline Edition is £120, that's £119.99. Now £64.99 for 2K25 is a bit steep, I won't lie. Like, the standard edition should always really be kind of around that £49.99. I don't particularly like when they go higher than that. I could maybe stretch it to something like £54.99. When I worked at Game, I always loved that £54.99 was the price of the game with a steelbook, so you're just paying that a little bit extra for steelbook. But I don't know, the standard game being £64.99, yes, it's cross-buy, but realistically I'm not going to play the PS4 version, so I just don't know how I feel about this. No confirmation that the game is PS5 Pro enabled either, but on the Xbox game page, it did say that it supported 4K, so I presume the game runs a solid 4K regardless. Here we can see a little an infographic view of what the, I'll hide my camera, here's an infographic view of the 3 different versions. So the standard edition comes with the White 6-pack if you pre-order before release. The Bloodline Edition comes with a 7-day early access, the Ringside Pass, the White 6-pack, the Rock Nation of Domination pack, which we've not even heard of yet. It comes with the 2K24 Standard Edition, the Deadman bonus, the Bloodline bonus, blah blah blah, a whole bunch of stuff. The Deadman Edition similarly comes with up to 7-day early access. It's weird it says up to. And then you get some Deadman Edition stuff, you get the Season Pass, you also get White 6, VC, some other bonuses. We'll talk about the bonuses shortly, but looking at the game description, you can see here, if you pre-order now, you get the White 6-pack, plus you'll receive the 2K24 Standard Edition to play while you wait, which is a great idea. So the White 6-pack includes My Faction Persona cards for Uncle Howdy, Dexter Lumis, Nikki Cross, Joe Gacy, Eric Rowan, and Island Cosmetics of Uncle Howdy and Nikki Cross. So the way that this is worded implies that the White 6 are actually in the base game, but these are just My Faction packs. So if the White 6 are actually in the base game, but the pre-order is just Persona cards, I think that's a good compromise. I think I'm fine with that. But the way that the picture looks is a little bit deceiving. It's a little bit dodgy if they're marketing that way. So let's get into descriptions for the gameplay features, right? So rule beyond the ring. In a franchise first, step outside the ropes onto the island, which is an immersive WWE themed world with epic arena challenges and live events. Fight to join the Bloodline with the original Tribal Chief Roman Reigns as you upgrade and customize your My Superstar through multiple storyline chapters. So the island does feature a storyline as well as upgrading your character. Very cool in my books. The 2K Showcase mode is finally getting a revamp by the looks of it. An all-new Showcase mode that's hosted by Paul Heyman, celebrates one of the most historic family dynasties in wrestling. It says here, relive legendary showdown and dream matches between Bloodline and WWE Superstars and Legends, which means finally we are not just playing through a storyline, we're going to get some really interesting dream matches as well. It kind of flew under the radar here, but in this description, the expanded gameplay announces that intergender wrestling is finally coming back to the 2K franchise. I guess not coming back, it was never in the 2K franchise, but this is its long-awaited debut in the 2K franchise. Additional features include the return of chain wrestling, the underground match and bloodline rules match, barricade diving and more. So there's even more they're not even talking about, but these are the main gameplay increases here. I think it's very cool that you got new match types. I would have maybe liked to have something like Iron Survivor. Maybe they just haven't announced it yet, or I Quit. But either way, I suppose they'll get there eventually. MyGM goes worldwide apparently, so you can take your show on the road with MyGM, now featuring online multiplayer. A lot of people have been asking for this for quite a few years now, but you can finally draft WWE Superstars and Legends to your roster and lead your brand through multi-week seasons with up to 4 players online. So you can do a full season mode, or a full season of MyGM with your friends online for the first time ever. Here is one I think is going to be really popular with people. Your universe, your way. So new upgrades to universe mode give greater control over the universe experience, featuring commentary-driven promos with new cutscenes, branching choices, and multiple outcomes. So I think what this finally means is we're not necessarily getting a story creator per se, but we're getting some kind of branching storyline, something to control the storylines that are actually being played out on the show. And for a lot of people, they'll be very happy to see the return of promos. Although they may be a little bit bare bones, we'll need to wait and see how it plays out. It's commentary driven promos, which makes it sound like it's going to be the commentators talking, so Michael Cole will just explain what your character is saying. But either way, the fact that promos are coming back I think is a great step for the future, and it keeps universe mode varied moving forward. For the first time ever, you get a unified MyRise mode where you can take control of your created superstar from the women's or men's division in a singular multi-gender MyRise storyline where Bayley, Kevin Owens, and other superstars infiltrate NXT in an attempt to control the entire WWE universe. It says it features new brawl environments, unlockable arenas, characters, and all new ally storylines involving some of your favorites. This sounds completely bonkers, and if this is the storyline they're going for, I'm really excited to see what it's like. It seems really bizarre that these popular wrestlers are infiltrating NXT to control the whole company. That seems like batshit crazy, but hey, whatever, it sounds cool. I'm all for it. And of course, 2K25 boasts the largest roster of all time, over 300 wrestlers available on the roster. So that's the immediate rundown for the Standard Edition, but you're probably wondering what's in the Deadman Edition. So for £90 you get the same game, plus up to 7 days early access, and the Rest in Peace, so this edition specifically celebrates the legendary Undertaker, contains the Wyatt 6-pack, and also comes with the Deadman bonus edition, the Deadman Edition bonus pack, season pass, and bonus virtual currency. So here you can see this is what the Deadman Edition includes. It comes with the Deadman bonus pack. They haven't really said what's in that. I'm assuming that is these 5 items here. So you get the My Faction Persona card, which is Undertaker 90. You get the Mattel Elite Greatest Hits Undertaker, which is an action figure version of the Undertaker. You get a usable urn, which is a weapon, and the Brother Love Manager. Oh my god, Bruce Pritchard made it into a video game for the first time ever. And you also get the Island cosmetic of the Undertaker 95 mask, which is the white Phantom of the Opera mask that he wore, I think, when he was facing Bret Hart. The Season Pass includes 5 post-launch DLC character packs with the Supercharger, which allows you to adjust stats and unlock everything, although they haven't announced what the Season Pass contains, so the 5 DLC packs are unknown currently. You also get the Wyatt 6-pack, which we already discussed, are My Faction Persona cards for these 5 characters. And you also get the Island cosmetics for Uncle Howdy, Nikki Cross, and you also get 15,000 BC, which just gets you that little boost unlocking characters. And finally, what's in the Bloodline Edition? Spoiler, very much the same stuff. So again, you pre-order up to 7-day early access. The Bloodline Edition includes the Bloodline Edition bonus pack, which is a Mattel Elite Collection Roman Reigns. So you get an action figure Roman Reigns, you get a Mattel Elite Series Jey Uso. You also get Island cosmetics for all of the Bloodline related merchandise, so Family Above All, which is Roman Reigns, the OTC Roman Reigns, the Yeet tank top and sunglasses, which are Jey Uso. Okay, so this is the edition that comes with WrestleMania 41. So in summer 2025, you'll get access to the WrestleMania 41 arena, along with the My Faction Persona card for a new playable superstar, interesting, and a WrestleMania main event. So whoever's in the WrestleMania main event, you'll get 2 Persona cards for them, and also a new playable superstar, which sounds like a whole new character. Like, that's interesting. You also get the Rock Nation of Domination pack, which is a My Faction Persona card for the Rock Nation of Domination, which is not available for individual purchase, so you can only get that card in this pack. You also get the Ringside Pass. They have not said what that is. Don't know what that is. And then again, you get the same stuff here. You get the Season Pass, 5 post-launch DLC packs with the Supercharger. You get the Superstar Mega Boost, which doesn't seem to come in the Deadman Edition, which is the MyRise boost, and 100,000 VC, alongside the Deadman Edition, the Wyatt 6-pack. And it says here as well, just at the bottom, just to be clear, even though you're buying the game, even if you're pre-ordering the game or buying the Bloodline Edition at launch, the actual release of the WrestleMania 41 pack and the Mattel Greatest Hits Undertaker will be announced at a later date and may not be available until after release, i.e. summer. So that's going to be it for today. I hope you were able to find some new information from this video that maybe isn't available elsewhere. I think that the store description for the game makes it sound amazing. I'm really excited for the improvements to the gameplay, universe mode, my GM. Story mode sounds bonkers. The showcase mode sounds really fun. I think we could be onto a winner this year. I think 2K25 could be a really landmark year for the series. But yeah, if you want to keep up to date with all WWE 2K25 news, then please consider subscribing. I'm going to be covering the game up to release, and then I'll be playing it after release as well. But I want to hear from you. Is there anything in this game that like really surprises you? If there is, then drop a comment down below and let me know what it is, because I think we're all going to be excited about the same stuff. But that's going to be us for today. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.